to Mount Everest, Nepal. On the remote border between Tibet and Nepal, the fierce, stark beauty of the Himalayas takes your breath away. These snowy peaks are a magnificent stairway to heaven. Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth, dominates them all. Towering more than 29,000 feet, Everest seems to touch the sky itself. Imagine what it would be like to reach the very pinnacle of this stunning work of nature. History happened here in 1953 when two bold adventurers did just that. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay risked their lives to be the first to conquer Mount Everest and stand at the top of the world. This is one of the most dangerous places on Earth. The world's best mountaineers have been trying for years to reach the summit and have failed. May 1953, Everest Base Camp at 17,000 feet. The latest British expedition adds one last climber to its team, a shy young beekeeper from New Zealand, Edmund Hillary. He wrote, "In the clear morning air, I could see a white fang thrusting up into the sky. What a long way off it was. It still seemed a dream. I felt a surge of excitement and was impatient to be off." May 25th, Camp 4 at 21,000 feet. Hillary has been teamed up with Tenzing Norgay, a 39-year-old Sherpa guide who has spent years on the mountain. They set off in the warm spring sunshine, advancing towards the summit, still 8,000 feet above them. But now, Everest unleashes its fury. The temperature plummets to 40 below. The winds gust to 100 miles an hour. The air is so thin, it leaves them gasping and feeble. May 28th, at 27,900 feet. The rest of the expedition have tried to reach the summit and failed. Now, it's Hillary and Norgay's turn. They are the only ones left, the last hope. May 29th, 6:30 a.m. The summit is still 1,000 feet above them. The toughest 1,000 feet in the world. They face a harrowing challenge, a ridge that drops away thousands of feet on either side. One false step could mean disaster. He wrote, "I could feel my heavy load dragging me backwards down the great slopes below. I seemed clumsy and unstable." Then, at 28,350 feet, an eerie find. The oxygen tanks of their fellow climbers who were forced to turn back. This is the highest anyone has ever climbed on Everest. Hillary and Norgay now enter the unknown. Moving along the southeast ridge, they come to a sheer wall of rock. They're exhausted. Hillary almost loses hope. He wrote, "The rock itself was a barrier beyond our feeble strength to overcome." He moves around the cliff and finds a narrow crevice. Hillary uses his last reserves of strength and endurance to help Norgay up the cliff. He wrote, "For the first time, I really felt the fierce determination that nothing could now stop us reaching the top." For the next 2 hours, they move along the ridge like robots, barely aware of their surroundings. Through his haze of exhaustion, Hillary sees that the ridge no longer rises. Slowly, the realization comes upon him. They have reached the summit. It's 11:30 a.m., May 29th, 1953. Two men stand on the top of the world. Hillary wrote, "I stretched out my arm for a handshake, but this was not enough for Tenzing, who threw his arms around my shoulders in a mighty hug, and I hugged him back in return." The moment becomes one of the best-known photographs of the 20th century. The two men return to a hero's welcome from their fellow climbers. Their triumph is announced to the world the day Princess Elizabeth is crowned queen. The new monarch confers a knighthood on Hillary. Tenzing Norgay is hailed as a hero of Nepal and becomes that country's goodwill ambassador to the world. Mount Everest still beckons adventurers. They are lured by her beauty, inspired by her grandeur, and challenged by her height. Challenged to reach the ultimate goal, the top of the world.